Hey, I have to shout just a little bit louder because apparently the volume and even apparently me talking isn't quite loud enough. Right, so you've also now just seen three of the videos I've done. I couldn't put all three of them together because there was not enough storage room on my phone, unfortunately. So I'm just basically going down to this one. So I'm hoping that you can hear me. I'm hoping that I'm loud and clear, and I hope there is no problems this time. Right. So if you are the type of person who doesn't wear foundation, let's just say foundation for the moment, okay? So if you're the type of person who doesn't wear foundation or anything like that, the last thing you want to be doing is buying foundation or even saying putting it on or anything like that. Okay? But I would suggest that you put this on. Now it's I think this is like £30 for this. So 30 or £33 for it. But I don't want you being afraid of it. Not of the actual product, being afraid of the price of it, because it actually protects your skin. Now, I am getting very, very closer than I want to, unfortunately, to my big 4O. Not that I want to, but there you go. It's just one of those things that happens. So, what I'm going to do is just to show you one or two little tips that maybe you might decide that you want to go for instead. So say that you want to put some nice nice colour on your eyes, okay? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix things up just a little bit. Right, so basically I've got this one here, which this one here is my Moodstruck liquid shadow. So you can see obviously it's got a hole through it, and it is really it is a really nice colour, and when it goes on it's so soft and so easy, but it does dry up pretty quick. So once you've gone over it, it dries up, and then you have to start by then is blending it. Okay, don't just have a blotch on your face, actually blend it in, right? So we're going to use that one. Then we're going to use this one for underneath. Basically, the one underneath is going to cover for the darkness of your eyes. And also, if you like myself as well, you've got a few wrinkles as well. You want to get rid of the wrinkles, then obviously do that one as well. Right, so the other one I'm also going to find, just found it, is this one here as well, is this splurge. Very, very easy to do. I don't want anybody being terrified of having to use any of these products. So you've got this sponge, and you've also, no, I don't, that's the thing, you see, you've got different types of sponges, but I actually don't really like this sponge. Now, right, it took me a little time to find it, but this sponge here, this is my absolute favourite one. So what I tend to do first is, get hold of this one first, which is my concealer brush. So I tend to put this one on first, and then I put it on with this. So I'll just give you a quick show of what I'm talking about. I don't know how much I've got of this left. I'll need to buy some again. Is some more of this. So obviously you put it on to your brush like that. I've already put the concealer on, so that will make it dead easy to put on as well. So now I've just put it on like that. Now you get hold of this and you spread it in really nicely and easily. And basically, you could say that is basically about it. Right, so I've just gone and put on, as you would know now, is this one here on both of the eyes, which will make it now really simply very easy. So I'm going to put this one on, Now, just to hide slightly underneath, is that darkness underneath my eyes. Now, if you don't feel like you need an awful lot, don't put an awful lot on. Again, I'm going to use a small one. I would usually do the bigger one, but right now I do not need to use the bigger one since I haven't got like loads and loads on. Because all I'm basically doing is, all I'm trying to do is cover is just underneath my eyes, which, you know yourself, you've got to blend it in so it doesn't look like you've got any lines at all. Now, unfortunately with mine, I've got, now you probably be able to still see I've got some darkness still coming through, so you got to think of it as like paint. Yeah, got to think of it as a bit like paint, you know, like how many times you have to keep putting it on. But it also depends on which one you get. No, I honestly, I didn't get the correct concealer. Okay, I didn't get the correct one because I need to I think I need to go up another one, maybe another two, just so that basically on the first go of putting this on, it will literally will cover it straight away. And well, as we all know, everything begins with money. And anyway, so what I'm going to do now is this now where is that? Right, so basically this part here, I absolutely love this part. This part is my favourite one. Now, I have been asked this loads and loads of times. Which one do I prefer? Do I prefer the spray or do I prefer the powder? They're both the same price, £30, okay, but I prefer myself is the blusher. I mean the powder, sorry. I prefer the powder. That's just my opinion. And that I don't know what it is. I just really prefer is the powder. Right, so the next step is, before anything else, just so that my eyelashes basically will not come out, I'm going to put on this concealer. Right, so there you go. I've now gone and put on this concealer, which, by the way, since I have been using this concealer, it actually has been doing absolutely fantastic. And that, I think what I'm going to have to do, I've just been thinking about it while I was putting on my my primer. I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put in my headphones and then talk that way, which I might try that option actually, because for some reason or other doing this way doesn't seem to be working very well. Right, so I don't know if you can hear me a bit better now. I've actually gone and got my headphones. I haven't put them obviously in my ears or anything like that, but I've got the mic basically close to me now, so I'm hoping you can hear me now. So when I do put this onto my my YouTube, obviously I've got a woman on there who tells me whether or not she can hear me. So please tell me if you can hear me any better now than you did before. Right, so now I've basically gone and put on the primer on my eyelashes, which now I will not have any more fallout, and my eyelashes have actually been more mended. They're actually more fuller and that, and I have noticed actually since I've been using the primer, I've actually got around about 3, maybe 4 lots of different layers of eyelashes and that, which obviously unless you're really looking at it you won't actually notice it, which means a person like me does not need to have eyelashes, false eyelashes. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm hoping I don't have to shout anymore, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put on this one now. It looks like a complete and utter googling mess right now, but wait until I'm finished doing. Right, so I've gone now and that's the colour I've gone and put on, as you can clearly now see. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is with this splurge one now is got into it, which is basically, as you can see, very soft. It moves so easily. You just don't leave the lid off, because like a lot of things, if you leave the lid off, it dries up. Right, so now as you can see, it's gone, obviously, it's gone very nicely around, which my eyes now look all sparkling, like a glittery sort of thing now. Being ambidextrous doesn't always mean what it says, but it does help. I'm a left-hander. There are a lot of things I can do with my right hand. Uh-oh, someone's at my door. Yep, that was my door, and it was quite funny actually, because he's not my usual delivery man. So apparently the guy just said that he can't handle apparently off-peak times. So that was quite amusing. A guy can't handle off-peak times. Oh my goodness gracious me. A man who cannot handle his time. Right, so my other one I'm going to use, by the way, this time instead of using my usual one, which is this one here, I'm actually going to use this spray for a change. I'm going to obviously take this mic off so I don't spray all over it. You don't have to spray that much. I just do it because I fully enjoy it. Right, so then what I'm going to do now is just for slightly underneath what I'm actually going to do now is I think I'm going to use this one here actually, which is my other one. So I think my delivery from Younique is actually just turned up, so I'm going to do that in my next video. So with my white colour, I'm just going to go into that a little bit with my blending brush, just over the top of it. Just over the top. Not not too much, but just a little bit over the top of it, like so. And then what I'm going to do is just underneath here where my eyes are and that, not to do too much or anything like that, because I've already got like a purplish sort of colour on. So what I think I'm going to do is just, I'm trying to improvise a tiny little bit, but I don't really want to wreck anything that I've got on there. So I think, I think I'll stick with the white and then just slightly, because obviously I don't want to mess it up too much of anything. And then see, if I put anything else on, I think I'll end up wrecking it. So sometimes you're better off knowing when not to go and do something stupid and that. And if your heart says to you, stop, don't do it anymore, you've done too much, then you're better off listening to that heart of yours. Right, so now I'm gonna put this colour on, and I hope this colour matches. If you, this is all you want on. If you don't want any, say like contouring, or you don't want any foundation on, all you basically want is eyeshadow on, lipstick on, and a bit of mascara, then this is basically the basics. There you go. That is basically your basic there. And that, not too much, not too little. You just basically got enough. You don't need any more than that on, okay? So there you go. You've got basically your eyeshadow on, you've got your mascara on, you've got your primer on, your face primer, and you've also got your lipstick on as well. So there we go. So I hope you could hear me properly on this one, and yeah, I'll leave it as that. And I basically hope you can share, follow, subscribe, like, and everything else. Thank you very much. Bye.